y'all, hope this long February has been treating you all well. So I'll be real with you. I've been a little slow getting back on my feet with this channel. Still recovering from the craziness of list season, I suppose. But that works out because 2024 has also been slow to start as far as music is concerned. I'm still waiting for some truly amazing stuff to pop out of the woodworks, but I'll be really happy when it does. There's still some solid stuff happening nonetheless, so let's review a few more from my personal selection of tracks and singles from February 2024. So for the most part, I do try to avoid the legacy acts on this series to make room for the smaller, independent artists that could do well with some promotion. However, well, I don't think Pet Shop Boys are exactly Rolling Stones level of massive, and I think their latest output really should be heard by all. Simply put, the legendary synth-pop duo have done it again, and Loneliness, their lead-up single to their upcoming album, is a smash. And this isn't really a surprise, as Pet Shop Boys have remained stunningly consistent since the 80s, but it's mostly impressive just how well they shifted and perfected their sound to the uneasiness of the present. As the title implies, the song tackles a topic of social isolation, which is certainly something that those of us in the COVID era are far too familiar with. And there's a deeper melancholy that lies beneath the pulsing dance beats and orchestral arrangements, with Neil Tennant's signature dry delivery concentrating on a particular numbness that lies in so many of us. A constant flurry of questions with no answers, a lingering loneliness that remains even amidst friends. It's a type of song that draws me in for reasons I can't completely enumerate, though I'm sure the comfort I find in the return of that good Pet Shop Boys sound is fair enough reason alone. In any case, boy do I love this. Gouge is a band I've only very recently become acquainted with, but they've already left a pretty strong impression on me. They made a name for themselves with their array of tunes that lie within noise rock inspired emo, and they fit that bill pretty well for the most part. Dallas, however, is something a little different. Set aside a sprawling 6-minute time frame, the band's edges are softened and the tune lies in the mellower side of the pond. The first half of the song lies in a jaunty alt-rock strut. It presents itself as a catchy, not a long number, and yet also paints a picture of full-body depression, the kind that lingers like black mold in the air and pushes away everything within close vicinity. And yet it's the second half where the magic really emerges. The rhythm eases to a mid-tempo churn and vocalist Christina Michelle's soft croons morph into stronger belts. The bad sensations still remain, but she's finally allowing herself to feel them all. It may not be much, but at least it's something. And through it all, the song remains so effortlessly pretty. It's a really great listen. This is definitely one of my favorite, more obscure finds I uncovered this month, and I really hope it means something to at least one of y'all as well. I'm floating on a moment, don't know how long. No one knows. Many of y'all probably already know who Beth Gibbons is, but for the uninitiated, she's best known as a member and primary vocalist for the legendary trip-hop act Portishead. However, Gibbons has also become a very well-acclaimed solo musician in her own right. 2002's Out of Season is a striking record, eschewing her moody electronic work in favor of a more folk style. And now we finally got her sophomore album coming later this year, and if Floating on the Moment is any indication, it's gonna be more of that kind of thing. But this song in particular is remarkably subtle, drifting along a delicate plane of simple strings and percussion that only stabs forth when absolutely necessary. Gibbons' voice has always felt a bit spooky to me, which much elevates her best work, and that's also the case here, with their soft vocal tones seeming to blend seamlessly into the environment around her. And for as understated as this track is, I also think the payoff is well worth it. The power behind the song takes a while to make itself known, but eventually it comes creeping from below the surface, and boy is that emotional pull just lovely. I'll be waiting on bated breath to find a track of hers that really blows me away, but if this is a proper indication for what we have to expect, I'll be checking out the album nonetheless. Chelsea Wolfe is an artist I've been well aware of for years, initially getting into her from her early darkwave material, but really loving her for her brief foray into doom metal in the 2010s. I low-key wish she'd do more of the latter, but in any case, she released another darkwave album this month, and I can't really complain. Where the opener Whispers in the Echo Chamber introduces the idea of reinvention that drives the record, House of Self-Undoing extends this theme forward, and likewise gives us one of the coolest tracks across the whole project. I'm an absolute sucker for this style of propulsive drum drum patterns, and the beat hardly lets up for very long at all. It's so cool. And Wolfe brings in the emotional rush here with their signature vocal mystique loosely spiraling along these brooding synths. It's all shadows upon shadows, and for someone who loves to live in the shadows, it's all so good. Hard to say for certain now, but this feels very much like one of the best songs of her career. I just can't get enough of it. As for the album, well, I'll have a bit more to say about it very soon, in a new type of video I have planned for y'all next month.
Come on, sweets. Take my hand, jump on my back, 'cause I'm the man.
I meant to address this last month, but couldn't find the space, or honestly, the words. But I needed to let it be known somewhere that Kim Gordon, yes, Sonic Youth's Kim Gordon, is making rage music. And it's really good. Bye Bye from last month was an electrifying experimental banger that would have fit right into Playboi Carti's repertoire. But with this second song, I'm a Man, Gordon leans far more into the noise rock corners of the sound, and dear lord does it fit her that much better. With the trap skitters pushed way in the back of the mix, the rough, uber-distorted guitars take up a sizable portion of space. The resulting sound is a claustrophobic rush of horror tones intended to be played as loudly as humanly possible. Gordon also sounds that much more involved here, utilizing her distinctly dry delivery to coldly address the absurdity of toxic masculinity. This track feels ready to implode at any given second, and that's the goddamn point. This has been one of the weirdest, coolest developments of this year so far, and I'm ready to take this ride all the way to the top. What a time to be alive, honestly.
The future is my vision. When I don't know what is happening, I'm living 'cause I'm living.
I already accepted that my albums and songs list from last year weren't going to be perfect, but one of the biggest regrets I currently have for those is absolutely no mention of cloud R&B artist Marcus Brown, known by most as Nourished by Time. I really dug into his debut release into the late parts of the year, and it's only grown on me that much more over time. Moreover, The Fields is simply one of the biggest jams of last year for sure, so that's an L for me. In any case, he's got a new song now with an EP on the way, and yeah, Hand on Me is a bop, plain and simple. Brown has this impeccable knack at crafting some of the catchiest melodies around, performing them with the shaky delivery and intricate soundscapes that come off as both surreal and compellingly club-ready. The wall of sound of this particular song is just so intriguing, building in ways that expertly straddle that line between fierce, funky atmospheres and deep melancholy. A line that isn't as secure as one may think. I don't know what else to say about this one, except, well, just listen to it. You surely won't regret it. And I surely won't be taking my eyes away from Nourished by Time anytime soon. That's for certain.
The dream of Delphi on my mind.
Ending this episode with yet another artist I've known of for quite some time now. Bad for Lashes is a solo project label of performer Natasha Khan, who has been recording under that moniker since the aughts. Her last album was in 2019, but she's recently announced a new project this year, and given her track record of truly solid art pop through the years, I, for one, am excited. And certainly so, if The Dream of Delphi is any indication of what to expect. This is described by Khan as an ode to motherhood, and you can certainly sense this in the dense, earthy synths that provide the foundation for the track, signifying a profound emotional journey that comes with such a tremulous milestone. She's also no stranger to the style of atmospheric strings and orchestral patterns heard here, but the weightiness is that much more pronounced, and the track itself is ever shifting and growing. And that eventual release of tension in the beat drop is like a whole world unraveling beneath our feet, making for such a wonderful climax. It's a beautiful track, one that kind of just came out of nowhere for me near the end of this month, and while I'm not positive that this is something I completely and truly love, it certainly gives me hope for whatever else Bad for Lashes has to give us later on. And I'll go ahead and end this here. Yeah, I guess February was the month of doom, gloom, and chill vibes, but I'm fine with that. Definitely looking forward to the exciting stuff just around the corner. As always, take care, and I'll see you next time.